Whatever it is, whatever you need. I'm in. Same mud. Same blood.
Today, an appeals court heard arguments on whether grand jury records in the case should be unsealed. Here's Mark Strassman.
Infamy lingers 50 miles east of Atlanta, where this lonely country road leads to the Moores Ford Bridge. Civil rights activist Tyrone Brooks showed us where the 4 lynching victims are buried. George Dorsey, a World War II veteran, and his wife May, and Roger and Dorothy Malcolm.
Sharecroppers, very active in terms of civic participation, urging African Americans to vote in the all-white primary of 1946. The Ku Klux Klan and law enforcement agencies decided we're going to teach these black folks a lesson.
Loy Harrison was a local farmer and Klansman. In July 1946, he drove both couples toward his farm, across the bridge.
The Klan had blocked the road, so they saw these Klansmen. These Klansmen were en masse. They were showing their faces. They weren't hiding. They opened the doors, they drugged the women out, and one of the women said, "Oh, we know Mr. So-and-so. Oh, we got to kill all of them now."
From where the car was stopped, the couples were dragged outside, beaten, dragged into the woods, and tied together by a tree. Then the ambush became a massacre. The mob opened fire, 60 shots, point blank, and no one has ever been held accountable. Georgia's governor at the time said 15 to 20 of the mob members are known by name, but a grand jury indicted no one.
They sealed the grand jury files.
Why is that?
They were elected officials, they were law enforcement, they were developers, they were major farmers, and everybody knew their names.
Critics believe those names are hiding inside sealed grand jury transcripts. The Department of Justice opposes opening them, arguing grand jury proceedings should remain secret.
Tell me what you're trying to hide.
Attorney Joe Bell is fighting to open the records.
What is in those records that would complete the story of this assassination of 4 African Americans?
In April of 1899, Sam Hose was accused of a crime. He was taken by a crowd of people on a train to Newbern, Georgia, and literally thousands of people gathered around to watch him be burned. They cut off his left ear first, then his right ear, and then they burned him alive. Literally after he was burned alive, people fought in the ashes over pieces of his body, for his bones and pieces of the sapling that he was attached to literally take it as souvenirs or to sell it to one another. When we think about the murder that's taken place of black men who might be accused of a crime, never having seen any justice, never having to face their justice, and then some type of heinous murder has taken place with respect to them, and nobody thinks about it or says this is what they deserve, and nobody's brought to justice for the murderless people. We have to stand up for that even today to make sure that does not happen, and to stand up for our ancestors in the past where that's happened to them. I want to remember Sam Hose today. Ada B. Wells wrote about him in her book Lynch Law. I have it on my website if you'd like to read more about it, but I want to remember him and her today.
Mysterious death in Vance County. A Chicago man found dead in Henderson, and the case is getting nationwide attention thanks to social media.
Yeah, we're talking about 21-year-old Javion McGee. He was a truck driver and was found dead on Wednesday with a rope around his neck and leaning against a tree, triggering hundreds to post their suspicions on social media that McGee was lynched.
Today, the Vance County Sheriff.
2021, the mother engaged the institution in good faith when students called her, quote, a man and a roach in teacher Olivia Bennett's class. According to their complaint, Miss Bennett was complicit in the bullying. The teacher was complicit and said nothing to the other students to stop it. One student asked, quote, "Where's the roach?" And Miss Bennett pointed to Kalia. The school system admits to that one. The following May, the suit alleges one of Kalia's classmates played a song and video on YouTube called the Black People Song. Teacher John Tier, a co-defendant, quote, allowed the song to be played without any comment on its offensiveness, nor any reprimand to or discussion with the student who played it, the complaint says. It was in March 1945 when 4 white police officers entered Hattie's property in Alabama, accusing Miss Hattie of making and selling untaxed whiskey. The 46-year-old black mother of 7 denied the allegation and also welcomed the cops to search her property. But the cops ended up killing her by punching her repeatedly and breaking her neck in front of her 15-year-old son, who was arrested for trying to help defend his mother. However, an FBI investigation conducted
talk real quick about another incident that happened in Wynne, Arkansas. Wynne, Arkansas is located in Cross County, which has a population of about 8,000 people. And of that population of Wynne, Arkansas, 8,000 people, 75% of the people are white and only 22% are black. But this disturbing incident, once again, has no national news coverage. If it was not for the family member of this person who reached out to me, then I would not have any knowledge of it. I've once again scoured and scrubbed the internet for any article relating to this individual, and the only thing I found was this individual's obituary, which you see here. You see Mr. Lance Alex Perry, born December the 22nd, 1973, and deceased October the 30th, 2024. And as you see, his obituary is very brief. It says Lance Alex Perry, 50 of Wynne, Arkansas, passed away Wednesday, October the 30th, 2024 in Wynne, Arkansas. He was born December the 22nd, 1973 in Wynne, Arkansas, to Larry Perry and Bernice McCrae. And then it goes on to describe, or list his relatives. Now, Lance Perry was allegedly found suspended in the air from a tree, and we all know what that means, on an abandoned property owned by this man. And I couldn't even find this man's first name. He's just listed as D. West, but D. West is the sheriff of Cross County. Now, of course, this is allegedly. I was told this by one family member and also another person who is close to the situation, that he was found allegedly suspended in the air from a tree on the property of the sheriff of the town, Mr. D. West. Now, also, people have told me that Mr. Wynne, similar to our brother Denoris Richardson down there in Sheffield, Alabama, had always been in and out of trouble with the legal system.
I need peace, really. I really need peace, and they need to do something.
A former police detective in Kansas City, Kansas, faces trial in federal court for allegedly violating women's civil rights. Prosecutors say Roger Golubsky preyed on black women and girls in poor neighborhoods and demanded sexual favors from them. He's accused of threatening to jail the relatives of those who didn't comply.
Just go along with him. I mean, whenever he came around, you know, just go do what he said.
Jamaica Hobbs has filed a separate lawsuit against Gillespie.
The long-awaited trial of former Kansas City, Kansas police detective Roger Golubski on 6 felony counts of rape and sexual abuse of 2 black women during the late 1990s and early 2000s took a shocking twist this morning. Shortly after 9 a.m., when Golubski failed to appear at the federal courthouse in Topeka, Edwardsville, Kansas police were called to his residence after a neighbor reported hearing a gunshot. According to officials with the KBI, Golubski died by suicide on his home's back deck. Later in the morning, a judge dismissed the charges scheduled to be heard during the 17-day trial. Numerous witnesses were expected to provide further details about the defendant's methods and patterns of abuse, allegedly including blackmail and threats of violence.
Did I fear him? No. He asked me many a days, get in, come on, go to Edwardsville at my mama's house, 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the night. You know, I never got in a car with him.
The case is still under investigation,